Okay, here we go. Let me turn the team colors off. We've got Feage and Dogao versus Gary+Nicov here. 2v2 action on Arabia, Chinese and Britons in this game. This is a pretty damn good game that I saw earlier. Nicov right away going to grab Loom as Chinese. He's going to be able to drop a house here pretty early. Interestingly, Dogao is going to be Chinese as well. He's going to be a little bit later on the Loom build. You can see that they will be Chinese v Chinese on the bottom. We will see Feage in red as Britons and Gary in green as Britons on the top. So Britons v Britons, Chinese v Chinese, and yeah, we're good to go here. Good to see Nicov and Gary. I actually really wanted to see a game with Gary. It's been a while since I've casted a game with Gary. I like Gary's play. Obviously, Nicov is a total badass, especially when he gets a chance to boom up a little bit. So that will be something to keep an eye on. Feage's rank continues to climb. He's up at 2055, playing incredibly well. And Dogao is just Dogao. He's just as good as he's always been. Like a fine wine, just getting better with age. Nonetheless, Dogao here in yellow is going to have his berries on the top. He's going to have gold and stone in the back. Relatively safe base for him. May have a little trouble closing it in the long term, but I assume we will see him wall up here. This is not a game with the no wall mod. So there will be walls in this one. His boars are on the front, but they will not be stolen. The only player who would be stealing boars or sheep this early would probably be Feage. Feage right now is still searching around for his own sheep. So I think we're going to see a relatively regular game here. I think we're going to see players chewing up their own boars. Feage on the top side is going to have main gold up above him. He's going to have two other gold piles relatively close by. And, excuse me, he can close this in pretty well in the long game, but for now he's going to be pretty open. Berries on the side, very close to his wood line, can probably use a couple of panels of wall in order to block that all off if he does get drushed. Secondary stone to the side, eventually may want to close this down, but we'll see. We will see how he does against Gary in green. Gary's going to have his main gold on the front, kind of an awkward spot. He's going to have his own boar out there, and it looks like for now he's just going to patrol for a moment and make sure that Feage doesn't come and steal it. It does look like Gary can close in his side pretty easily, especially the side facing Feage, and we may see him do that. Secondary gold, secondary stone up above him. Barry's off to the back, 4 villagers on wood right away, so probably some early aggression from him, but who knows? Never know. 3 on wood for Feage? No, 4 on wood for Feage, and he's using houses already to try to block off this far side. Hey, Mr. Duke, welcome. Nicov with 4 vills on gold as well. I'm sorry, on wood as well. So we'll see if he goes with early aggression. Boar up on the hill, but I think he's very close here. He's not going to have any problem luring that in. Berries on a downhill slant. Main gold off to the side. Looks like on the back will be his main gold. I should say main stone off to the side. Right now, luring in his boar, he's going to take that hit uphill. Kind of a crafty little move. Even though he's got loom, you could see he kind of went away from his TC just for a moment to take that first hit uphill. Very clever in my humble opinion. So yeah, nobody's got a terrible map. Gary's got a little bit of an annoying spot here, but as long as he can close these sides in, I think he'll be okay in the long term. In the long run, we'll see if he gets drushed. Obviously, Feage in position to do so. Drush Fast Castle Knights, says Nicov. So Nikov's going to go Drush Fast Castle Knights as Chinese. As I was saying earlier, Nicov, at least in my opinion, who am I? I'm just some guy. But in my opinion, if he gets a chance to boom up a little bit, he's just unstoppable. He's as good as anybody if he gets to the Castle Age with 3 TCs and booms up a little. So we'll see if he achieves that this game. Right now, taking the 10 gold is Feage on the bottom side. We can see a couple of walls coming down from Nicov. He's going to block his side in from his opponent Dogao by the looks of it before Dogao gets there. Dogao right now has not built a barracks, so I don't think we're going to see aggression from him. Gary has not taken the extra gold. Dogao has not taken the extra gold. Nicov has not, but Feage has done it. So we may just see a drush from Feage. And we did see Nicov saying he's going to drush. Little bit of, not really laming, but harassment here from Gary. Going to push Feage off of that wall for a moment, keep this side open. Obviously, Feage wants to close that in. He wants to get his drush going forward. It's going to come from this side over here. And he can wall up behind that drush. On the other side, going tit for tat here is Feage, who's going to push Gary off of the ability to build his own barracks. So Feage actually doing a really nice job there, pushing his opponent away. Look at this, though. Feage is going to have a Vil on 1 HP while his opponent, Gary, loses his scout. Man, oh man, what a bummer. Meanwhile, Feage still trying to deny this barracks, and he's going to do a really good job of slowing that down. The timing of that barracks is actually very important because it's going to give Feage time to get a couple of militia forward before Gary can build any of his own. Let's speed this one up just a couple of more ticks here, and we'll work our way through the Dark Age. You can see walls coming up across the side there for Gary. It looks like he will get those up in time to block Feage. Feage will be able to walk around the top. He's going to have to maybe fight this wolf. No, he's going to be fine. He's going to hug that wood line. He's going to be absolutely fine there. Nicov continuing to work around here and try to drop palisades. Dogao laughing and laughing and laughing. I'm not sure exactly what he just accomplished. Maybe he grabbed a Vil or something. Don't know. He lost a lot of HP there on his scout, though. Whatever happened, he's going to have to deal with having a low HP scout. At the moment, Drushes are really not doing much on the bottom, but on the top, we do see Feage is in. He's annoying a couple of Vils. He's keeping these Vils from working. Just 2 militia at the moment, but man, they're getting in so many hits. Getting in a lot of hits, and they may continue to harass here for quite some time. Gary has nothing to respond to. Oh no, this villager's going around, ring around the Rosie. Look at all the free damage she's taking, and she's going to die there on the top. Gary's going to be down a Vil here already. That is incredibly bad for him. Very, very effective Drush from Feage, which has a lot of HP left. He's going to just continue to deny that gold for the time being. Man, oh man, double archery range is coming down for Gary, so he can get to the Feudal Age and deal with this, but he does not have a gold economy at the moment. Sending 4 Vils over, but I imagine he doesn't have a whole lot in the bank. What you got for me, Gary? Gary's going to have 1 archer coming out and maybe a second? Question mark? Looks like a skirm. Gonna have to go with skirms here early to try to deal with that Drush. He's a little bit on the back foot, as the Englishman would say. The Drush still alive, still annoying, but now it's going to be dealt with here eventually. Looks like Gary has stabilized the ship here. It's awkward, though. I mean, he's chasing that scout across the map with that 1 Vil. Just not the most effective Drush defense that we've seen. Very, very good Drush there from Feage. Nicov has gone to Feage's side with his Drush. He's going to find walls pretty much everywhere. Looks like he did not find this deer patch just yet. 1 villager there on relatively low HP. Could be harassed, but for the moment, happy as can be. Still doing a little bit of dancing here, doing the Kansas City Shuffle, if you will, are these 2 armies. At the moment, it does look like Feage is going to commit to a fight right in the shadow of that TC and lose his entire group of militia. Great Drush from him. I kind of wish he didn't throw it away there at the end. I feel like he could have scattered those militia or done something different with them, but yeah, he's the pro, not me. Right now, Feage is running across the map. Not enough damage in on these Vils to snipe any of them for the moment, and he'll have an archery range up in defense very shortly. However, this Vil is kind of trapped. House having to be deleted there, and Feage is going to run back home just in time to save that Vil, and he'll grab a militia while he's at it. Dogao and Nicov have both started to wall off. You can actually see Dogao missing 1 piece of that wall, which is interesting. He's got a stable out here pretty early. He is in the Feudal Age, as is everybody else. We can see the scouts roaming around here for Dogao, and it looks like Nicov is going to take the fight against them. Just too many Vils, I suppose. He's going to go for the greener pastures. He's going to get Nikov's Vil here for free, question mark. Yeah, not really for free, because he's going to take like 4 pokes there from the pikemen, from the spearmen, and that is going to push this little army away for now. 2 spears chasing them around, ring around the Rosie they go. Suppose I should have called the game Ring Around the Rosie. On the top side, Dogao moving his economy around. Berries are finished, moving over to some gold here, and doing a pretty good job to boom up. The green army from Gary is in. It's just a feudal mixed army of archers and skirms. They're trying to get in some damage, but they are being chased out by Feage, using a couple Vils there as a nice meat shield. He's going to be just fine. Meanwhile, on the bottom, Dogao's scouts continue to roam around the map, and I don't think Nikov's gotten another poke in. They're just running ahead and like baiting along these 2 spears. Just annoying Nicov as much as possible, I would suppose. Castle Age coming, though, for Nicov, double bit axe as well. Still taking some damage from time to time from those scouts. He's got to split these spears up and send one around the other way, you would think. But right now, keeping them together, and oh no, he's going to lose another Vil. Nicov is not happy with the, you depress me, says Dogao. Nicov not happy with Dogao. Dogao kind of baiting his opponent, goading his opponent, if you will. And right now, it is just a ring around the rosy chase. What's up, Octagonal D? Good to see you. Spear's going to chase those scouts away eventually, but man, oh man, did Dogao get good bang for his buck. I think he got at least 2 Vils, maybe 3, and really just annoyed Nicov as much as he could. Made Nicov respond with a couple of spears, and those scouts are still alive. Stonewall's up on the bottom side here for Gary. Gary's going to block himself in and try to stabilize the ship. Took a little bit of damage early from a really good drush from Feage. Sent in some feudal pressure, but didn't really get the job done, and you can see that, that Feage is here to push back against this feudal pressure. Gate coming down just in time there, almost walking right through there was Feage. Gonna see a TC now for Dogao, and he's, sorry, for Nicov, and he's finally going to trap a couple of those scouts, one of them still running around with a couple of HP left, just doing so much great scouting there. Second TC coming from Nicov, and a third TC on the top side, and man, oh man, if Nicov gets a chance to boom, it's going to be over, man. That dude just he doesn't lose if he gets a chance to boom up. You gotta keep Nicov down, you gotta hold him down. Nonetheless, on the top side here, Gary a little bit, well, not really under pressure, but there is a small army inside of his zone. He's got a little bit here to deal with this. Going to stand on the hill and take this fight. Going to try to pincer with a small group of archers on the backside, and also try to finish these walls on the top. So it looks like Gary is going to be fine. I should say Gary. That's how his name is spelled. I don't think it's just Gary. I think it's Gary. Nonetheless, pushing across the map here is the yellow player Dogao. He's going to have a couple of knights out on the field. The Chinese player with those +1 knights running across the map, and he's headed straight for Gary, but Gary's walled in. Bro, Gary is walled in. Leave it alone. Monk out on the field for Nicov. Maybe a few more in tow to deal with his opponent's knights relatively soon. Looks like he's actually going to go 3 TCs and a, yeah, in the monastery for now. He's going to deal with this a little bit defensively. He talked about going Drush, Fast Castle, Knights, but he does not have, well, he's got 2 Knights on the field at the moment. Does not have nearly the army of Knights that his opponent has. You can see the yellow player here, Dogao, actually doing a really nice job to send all of those Knights on a different route. He pretty much revealed the entire map with 4 Knights just then. Very nice little play from him there. He's going to find that his opponent is stonewalled in here, and he's got a couple of archers here that obviously Dogao does not want to take free damage from. Looks like for now he's going to be able to pull 1 knight away, but he's going to continue. Oh, the gate was open just for a second. Just a momentary opening in the gate, but now it is closed, and those knights continue to take free damage from the archers. Feage is going to work his way over here. He's going to deny those Vils, and it does look like this army is going to work its way in. Gary doesn't have a lot to defend with here. He's certainly going to lose some Vils in the process. He's going to drop a quick archery range on the top side, and he's not going to be able to drop. He's trying to drop a market here. You can't see that in that particular view. He was trying to get one down, and that's why he's saying dadgum. Gonna lose a lot of his army here, going to have to retreat full on back to the TC, redistribute his entire economy to the other side. So Gary is in some trouble right now, but this is a full commitment here from Dogao and from Feage. They're really committing to this aggression. Actually, Dogao losing control of his knights for a moment, taking some free damage. Is Gary going to do what I think he's going to do? I think he's going to wall all these units in. He is indeed going to wall them in. So Gary's got both armies walled in on his side. That's going to be really interesting. He's going to lose some Vils here on the top, but maybe, just maybe, it will be worth it. He's going to wall himself in, and he's going to leave Nicov an opening to do some good damage. Vils going down there, but in the end, man, this is pretty damn good defense from Gary. 2v1. Really holding his own. He's going to lose a lot of his eco. He's going to really lose his army here eventually, but he's getting quite a few knights, quite a few units from Feage. Oh boy. Feage, though, sneaking in on that back wood line and getting even more Vils. So Gary stretched very, very thin. Nicov on the other side, though, is building up for a really big push. The blue player here has got camels, he's got monks, he's got knights, he's got mangonels coming. He's ready to go for it. Octagonal D just rolled a 5. 5 out of 100. That is a bummer, bro. How much did you lose? Oh, he gambled it all. 400 hive coins. Man, oh man. Feage's army here is under some pressure. Going to take some free damage. Not free damage, but they're going to get whittled away here pretty quickly. Dagao's knights are getting pretty low, but once again, they are walled in. They have to pound their way out, maybe through these palisades if they want to get out. But for now, both of those armies are fully committed. So Gary really taking a lot of damage, but holding those two armies in his base, and at the moment holding them at bay. Feage has a lot of good pressure on this wood line. You can see Gary's had to move away to the other side and kind of take a pretty big risk over here. These villas have no protection, and they are very far from the TC. But for now, it's going to be good enough to get the job done. Third archery range on the way. We're going to see more skirms. We're going to see more crossbows. The gold economy somehow from Gary is safe. I don't know why. These knights could very easily raid it, but they're just not doing so at the moment. And on the bottom, while Gary defends the top, Nicov is, as we said, booming, and that is the thing that you really don't want. 86 fills from him at the moment, and he is just great when he has a chance to boom up like this. And you can see he's going to make a really nice push there on the bottom. Feage sending an army over to try to slow this down. Castle in defense from Dagao will stop this for the moment. Decent shot with the mangonel there on those knights. All of the crossbows getting cleaned up, but the knights are now in, and they may get one more mangonel? Question mark? No, looks like they will just get a few. So for the moment, obviously Dagao stopping the bleeding by building that castle on the top side, but nonetheless, Nikov's going to grab this TC, and maybe he can continue pushing in a different spot. On the top, Gary has finally cleaned up those entire armies. You can see he took a ton of damage there, only on 42 vills at the moment. One TC build for him, but he is in the castle age, and his teammate is going to take a lot of aggression away from him at the moment. University up, ballistics on the way for Gary. Gary just surviving the initial onslaught from his two opponents and really trapping both of those armies kind of masterfully in there. Lost a lot of units though, and I don't know if he'll be able to come back. TC under pressure here on the top side, so Dagao building out 1, 2. He had 3 TCs, but now he's back down to 2, and he may soon be over to 1. What is up? What is up, guys? Oh, Kansas City Shuffle. What are the origins of this title? So the Kansas City Shuffle is when you look left, you make everyone look left, and then you go right. I don't know. Just needed a title. Just needed a title for this game. Nicov and Gary versus Feage and Dagao. MBL Army, says Bonnie. If we did get hosted, I do want to say thanks. I didn't hear any notifications, but if MBL's Army is here, then thanks for the host and thanks for chilling out. So Dagao is going to take a bit of a risk here. You can see he's running across the map with about a dozen vills. Going to try to build a TC on the top side. He needs to boom up to deal with Nicov. Nicov right now is booming and pushing, and he's going to take a second TC of Dagao's down. Gary on the top has finally pushed back against his opponent Feage, but look at this. He got totally trapped in there. Going to take a lot of free damage while running here. I'm not sure his army wasn't big enough to fight initially, but it's really dwindled down now. It looks like Feage is going to win that pretty handily on the top side. Actually, a pretty clever little quick gating action from Feage. Feage is playing fantastically lately. It's been awesome to watch him. Really like the play of Feage. Chukonu are out here for the yellow player Dagao. He's going to push these knights that were in and doing some raiding away. And for the moment, Nikov's going to have to run back. He's got 2 castles here in series, and he's just going to continue to push on the buildings of the front side of Dagao. Little does he know, there's a second TC on the other side. And look at this, a little cheeky walling on the top from Nicov. Nikov's going to wall across the area here to maybe stop trade in the long game. I'm not sure what this wall is intended for, but it does look like he's going to try to wall Dagao in there. Very interesting. So yeah, as we said on the onset, I wanted to watch this game because I hadn't seen Gary play for a while. Wanted to see how the old pro is doing. I shouldn't say old pro, he's probably younger than me, but Gary playing a pretty good game here. He's gotten hit very hard early, but he's survived a couple of really heavy body blows. He was 2v1 for a while, and that really allowed Nicov to boom up. And he is pushing on the bottom, but, you know, Feage up here is really not getting pressured too much. He's going to build out a castle. He's got a few idols, but other than that, he's really booming, and really, he's got a much better eco than his opponent, Gary. He may be able to get something done against Gary. Both players in the castle age, but you can see Imperial coming for both of them. Feage on 92 Vils, Gary only on 53, so there's going to be a massive eco difference between those two players on the top, if Dogao can somehow, someway survive the bottom. Treb v Treb war here on the side of this castle on a tiny little hill is going to survive for the time being. Just a couple of Vils here for Nicov repairing this castle, so it will probably die. Chukonu involved. They are trying to keep those Trebs up. Actually, 2 more Trebs on the bottom from Nicov, and he is just really, ooh, man, nice Treb snipe there. He is really pushing hard, though. Nicov really investing a lot of resources at this point. What's he got in the bank is the question. Yeah, he's got a lot in the bank. 1k gold just sitting there waiting until he's ready. Still trying to wall off across the bottom, but it looks like for now Dogao will stop him from doing so. He's going to build up 4 ranges on the top side and try to build up an army to push his opponent back. Bracer coming, Elite Skirmisher coming, but who knows? Who knows if it's going to be fast enough? Like I said, I think Feage has an opportunity here if he can knock out Gary to help his teammate. But right now, his army seems to just be roaming around, taking a lot of free damage. So yeah, at the moment, we continue to work our way through this. Castle has gone down on that side from Nicov. He's going to build up a couple siege workshops. He's actually going to build up 4 siege workshops in addition to his original one. Still has 2 castles left, but he's ready to make a pretty massive push here. That many workshops has to mean rams, right? One would think it has to mean rams. Chukonu massed up quite a lot here. They're going to do a ton of good damage here, and there's really nothing in defense from Dogao. Another TC in the back corner, and I can only assume that both of these TCs, this market, all of these buildings in the corner are all as good as dead at this point. Nonetheless, Dogao continuing to build out toward his teammate Feage. He's going to drop another TC and another one as well if he can. For now, Gary's done a pretty good job to stop one of those, but it does look like Feage has the bigger army. Arms in the economy here of Feage, but not for long. There's only 2 of them left. So yeah, Feage seeming to have a pretty big upper hand on Gary on the top side, but he's not getting any damage in. Gary's been sitting behind stone walls for quite some time, and really Feage has not punished him since that initial early push. Dogao and Feage were 2v1 on Gary, and since then, Gary's been booming. He's up on 77 Vils, which is not that much for the point of the game we're at, but man, he's quite a significant number above his opponent Dogao. Dogao here is the low man. He's continuing to get gutted. Look at the Treb train just rolling through. Treb train rolling through. Look at all of these resources that have been taken away and really squandered. All these farms and buildings just going to waste. Nicov, like I said earlier, he's just so nasty of a player when he gets a chance to boom up, and in this game, he had a little bit of a chance to boom, and he has not looked back since. Chukonu on the top side, a little bit of a hill advantage here, have the number advantage as well, so they should be able to push back Feage and Dogao here. Trebs continuing to roll in. We do see onagers as well, and it looks like as long as he doesn't kill his own units with this onager, it looks like Nikov's going to be able to run away with this game. He never finished his cheeky wall here. I guess it never really became necessary because he's just chewing up the entire map of Dogao, who has now built a second eco on the top side. But man, there's just not enough fills here to really do anything. Feage would need right now to knock out Gary if they're going to have any chance of winning this game. Gary's still happily hiding behind, not hiding, but safely just standing behind these stone walls. He's going to get castle dropped though. Feage is going to try to drop a castle. Gary's got the units to push this back. Hill advantage for Feage here, but nonetheless, it does look like Gary should be able to win this. He's got quite a few arbs here. Upgrades are, let's see, in the favor, actually massively in the favor of Feage in this fight. So Feage is going to win. He's going to reinforce with a second army. He's going to get his castle up, and now his opponent has opened up a hole, a chasm, if you will, for him to push into. Siege Workshop's coming down. Feage's push is on the roll, but we'll see if it's fast enough. Dogao continuing to take punch after punch from Nicov, and really is in so much trouble on this side. Has a couple Cavalier and mostly Chukonu at this point, and it seems to be pretty much over at this point. Man, nobody can win on the Revlabot gambling. My apologies, friends. My apologies. Looks like on the bottom side, Feage, or sorry, on the east side of the map, Feage is doing a really nice job to push here. He's got a couple rams in, tanking a bit of damage, I suppose, from those ranged units, but one Treb in defense for the moment from Gary. Gary's just got to hold the line here just long enough for his opponent, for his teammate to win the game. Just got to hold long enough for his teammate to win the game. Looks like we're going to see a ram taking down a Treb here. I actually do remember this moment of the game from watching it earlier. Vill's in to snipe that ram. Very nice. One little palisade down. Look at this. A house and another palisade, making those rams run all the way around the horn to try to get to this Treb. Look, another piece of palisade, another villager. Man, oh man, Gary doing a really nice job to block this ram, and he's going to kill it just before it takes down that Treb. Nice little play from Gary. Nice micro. I couldn't do that. Ooh, Mangonel's shot. Oh my sweet Jesus, we tuned in just in time for that. Chukonu are pretty beefy. They took that shot pretty much to the face without dying, but look at all of the HP. I mean, almost all of those Chukonu are on half or lower HP now. But the Trebs are still alive. The army continues to roll on. And we will see Feage say GG with Dogao. They're going to call this game done. A very nice 2v2. The Kansas City Shuffle. I don't know. Why not call it that? Really, both armies were looking to the right here. They were hitting Gary very early. And Gary just trapped him in there. He walled his own units in. He walled two armies into his own base. And in the end, gave Nicov some time to boom up. Gave him some time to push. And Nicov absolutely putting the hammer down on Dogao. Just that little early advantage was enough, and he really took over the entire map. Nice little game there from Nicov and Gary, kind of baiting their opponents in and playing very well.